that is everything around you that you call life was made up by people that were no smarter than you.
Hi, my name is Maxim Rabinovich, and I've been working on the solar panel project for the last 6 months of my life, and it is now ready and complete today. Basically, what it can do, it follows the sun. It is roughly 10:50 right now, and it's still angled towards the sun since it's the morning. And using two light sensors, it will follow the sun as the day progresses. Over here, I have a servo that controls it, and in here, I have all the main electronics, including a charge controller, a battery, an Arduino, other sensors, internal sensors, temperature sensors, and a particulate matter sensor, as I am conducting research on what is the effect of particulate matter on solar panel wattage and how long it takes to charge this battery. Now, moving deeper into the project, as I discussed before, there's one sensor and here's another one, and they are wired up. And then over here, I have two 12-volt fans, an intake and an outtake fan. And then under the hood, it is a rat's nest, I agree. However, it does work. This is the charge controller. This is the battery. Over here, we have the motherboard. And then deeper inside, you can see a multiplexer, which takes in multiple I2C communication devices, such as these two sensors. And also I have the, as I mentioned before, the particulate matter sensor right down there. And then I have another internal sensor that is right over there. I'm not sure if you can spot it. And another thing is I'm able to communicate with the Renogy controller and get data from the solar panel and just the charge level and what is the percentage, and all of that works and connects to the Arduino IoT, Internet of Things, and I'm able to remotely control this whole project and view it. Additionally, I'm able to do over-the-air updates or software updates completely remotely. And another thing I have now implemented is I'm able to control it completely via Alexa and be able to remotely control the solar panel and figure out the charge level of the battery and internal temperature. Now, I first came up with this idea roughly 6 months ago when I was working late one Friday evening at a Starbucks, and I drew up a sketch. Here it is. And I originally thought this project would have two servos. However, I later decided to have only one to be more cost effective and more battery effective, as there would be one less thing to power. And I later found out that that was very helpful, as powering two servos would greatly decrease my battery life. And I have learned many things throughout this journey, the biggest ones being I2C communication and how to work with that. The Arduino R4 Wi-Fi, which is the Arduino I chose, has only one channel. And that's fine as long as you have one sensor. However, I have four, so I needed to figure out a way to be able to communicate and view data from four different sensors. And to do that, I decided to use a multiplexer. However, the problem with multiplexers, as they can be finicky, as well as the data and clock lines, the wires, especially for them, cannot be very long, as there will be resistance in the wire and your data will become illegible to the Arduino. Another thing is you need to make sure that the wires gauge is high enough, meaning the actual metal part inside of the wire is thick enough so there isn't high resistance. Another thing I've learned is how to work with over-the-air updates and connecting to the Arduino IoT and what possibilities come with that. Another thing that I've learned with this project is I can connect it to the Arduino IoT, Internet of Things, and connect it to the internet. And what comes with that is you're able to control it using the Arduino app and also with their cloud page on any online browser. Additionally, I've been able to connect it to my personal Echo Show, and I'm able to control the solar panel remotely using my voice and also learn what the battery percentage is, the angle the solar panel is at, and also the internal temperatures of the power unit, which is the big white box that I show. Another thing I learned is over-the-air updates and how to do that. And Arduino IoT makes that very easy by having an online terminal where you just upload, copy and paste your code, or you can write the code yourself and then push it onto the board, and it flashes it onto the board completely remotely. Extremely useful feature. I love it. And an additional thing is I've been working on research with this project and studying the effects of particulate matter, or how dusty the air is, and how much power we get from the sun. So here I have the Alexa app. You can download it on the Apple App Store. And here I have multiple things that I can view or control via the Alexa app, such as the servo angle. Right here, it's telling me it is at 81 degrees. And let's say I want to manually override it and set it to 90 degrees. There, 90. And as you just saw, it is now at 90 degrees. Let's say I want to change it back to 81. 81. And there it goes to 81 degrees. A couple other things that I can do is it can tell me what the battery level is. It is at 93%. The reason why it says current temperature is the variable type that is set on the Arduino IoT, and I'm unable to do any other variable types besides temperature ones due to their configuration. However, it's still the same variable in the code, and that is the variable for the battery percentage, which is, as you just saw, went up in 2% as the battery is currently charging from the sun. Some other things are, this is the internal temperature of the charge controller, quite toasty at 107.6 degrees Fahrenheit. And finally, I have the control box temperature. This is the temperature of inside the box itself. And that is all the things I have on the Amazon app. Now I'll also demonstrate the ability of me being able to control this project using my voice, using the Magic Word app and a Echo Show. Alexa, set the Arabella project to 90 degrees.
Thermostat is set to 90.
And then now it is at 90 degrees. Alexa, set the Arabella project to 120 degrees.
Thermostat is set to 120.
And it is now at 120 degrees. Alexa, set the Arabella project to 81 degrees.
Thermostat is set to 81.
Alexa, what is the battery level on the Arabella project?
That's not supported yet.
I don't understand why it just said that's not supported yet. However, you can get the gist of it. You're able to view and control it using the Alexa app, but also the Arduino app, which I believe I have. Yes, I do. I will say the app itself is unreliable compared to the online version of it. However, the UI on the app is a lot better, and I'm just waiting for all the graphs to populate. Here we have a couple. Those ones are still loading up, but here is the battery voltage, the charge controller, temperature, and just all the data. And all of this can be viewed remotely. There is the PM sensor, the particulate matter data,